Hello, and thanks for taking a moment to watch this brief video on why I feel strongly about using a risk-based asset allocation and rebalancing strategy as opposed to taking a tactical approach to managing your long-term investment goals. Do you remember the character Biff from the hit movie Back to the Future? In the movie, Biff was the bully that stole the little book from Michael J. Fox that was from the future and had all of the scores of the sporting matches in that little book. Biff was then able to go out and amass a fortune by betting on the sporting matches that he already knew the winners of. Now, you and I do not have the luck to come across a Wall Street Journal from the future, and none of us are really smart enough with certainty to predict what exactly is going to happen in the financial markets next year. So we need to take a different approach. Have a look at this chart here, which shows the returns of 10 different types of investments since 2001. For example, we can see that in 2002, commodities and bonds were the highest returning assets by a large measure. In the meltdown of 2008, bonds and cash provided the highest returns. The very next year, emerging market stocks bounced back an astounding 79%. Just imagine if you were able to go back to 1999 armed with this chart. It would be really, really easy to craft a winning investment strategy. Well, that's not going to happen to any of us. So what can we learn from this chart? Well, the first thing we notice from the chart is that there is no discernible pattern that will tell us what is going to happen next. We also see that there are large swings from year to year in the returns of the most volatile and highest returning investments. So this begs a question of the investor. What should I be invested in right now? And how should I make decisions about how and when to change my investment portfolio? Well, there are two fundamentally different approaches that you can take. The first approach would be the tactical approach or the market timing approach. With this approach, you try to guess or predict what is going to be the best investments to be in next year. Success or failure under this approach will depend on whether or not you are right over and over again about making decisions on what were the winners next year. This type of approach may be better suited to people who have a very high opinion of their ability to predict which way the markets will go and have a high level of risk tolerance. Most people, on the other hand, are more comfortable taking the asset allocation approach. With this approach, you define the level of risk that you are willing to take with your investments and select a mix of investments that will potentially maximize your long-term returns but still keep you in that given risk profile or posture that you're willing to take. With this approach, the decisions that you make on what to own and in what proportions are already made for you, so you do not need to guess correctly every year on what are going to be next year's winners and losers. You simply need to follow your strategy, rebalance your portfolio periodically, potentially maximize your long-term returns, and keep you in that risk profile or posture that you're comfortable with. So is it wrong to try to guess or anticipate what the financial markets will serve up to us in the near future? Certainly not. By using significant market downturns as an opportunity to rebalance your portfolio, or by carving out a modest tactical portion of your allocation that may have better growth potential given current market conditions, you may potentially enhance your long-term investment returns. This is the approach that I take to managing my clients' investment savings, as I feel it gives them the greatest chance of meeting their goals while not taking on undue risk and becoming an emotional slave to the ups and downs of the markets. Thanks for listening in, and I encourage you to reach out to me to see if it makes sense to get a second opinion on your retirement savings and investments.